All right, we are in Texas. Our US 87, heading a little bit southeast. We're about 120 miles away from Amarillo for our next load check. Was listening to a YouTube channel here. Talking about driving tired. The YouTube channel is American Truckers. The truth about why I said I'm done, released, on the 22nd, I believe it was. 22nd of February. And they show all these clips of accidents and, some of these drivers, get paid, run hard, and some others who, are saying that they're forced to drive tired. They are forced to drive when it's unsafe. They are forced to drive for threat of their jobs. I have a problem with that. Yeah, I've only been a truck driver for, since June of 2017, or July of 2017. I did box van for a little, just about a year, about almost 13 months. Now I'm a flatbed driver. I've been driving, flatbed for about 7, going on 8 months now. I've never driven tired. Ever. I didn't do that in a car before I had a CDL. Why is doing the correct thing such a burden for some of these people? Some of these quote-unquote professional drivers. Oh, like that famous or infamous, however you wish to put it, thing from the guy with the channel Run Hard, Get Paid. Ooh, they were forcing me. The dispatcher was forcing me. If you felt forced, you should have had enough, common sense to say, I am not going to endanger my life. It's a job. That's all it is. Trucking is not the end all and be all of your existence. There's only one job in the world, as I see it, that is your identity, that is your soul, your spirit, your personality. There's only one job. That's being a priest or a nun. That is it. Everything else in human endeavor, in my opinion, is just a job. Yes, I'm a truck driver. I enjoy being a truck driver. I spent $5,000 out of my pocket to get my CDL through a school before I went to get a job. I didn't get my license through a trucking company. I think that's wrong. I think they cut corners there, I think. That's my opinion. Although I have a family member who did go that route. I don't think it worked. You know, I advise, you know, that she go to an actual school to get the license. I think it would have worked better for her, but this mentality that some of us truck drivers have. You have, on one hand, you have the super trucker who I've been doing this for 30 years, I know everything. Well, you don't know everything. Nobody does. Then you have the rookie who was rammed through a truck driving school at a trucking company. CR England, Schneider, Knight, whatever it is, Prime, you know, whatever company it is, Celadon, blah, 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 blah. They do the schooling and they do the testing. Do you not see a conflict of interest there with that? That's why we have so many bad drivers on the road. But that's the minor part of it, that the truck companies are doing this. The bigger problem is you have drivers who will not adhere, A, to the law, and B, to a sense of personal safety and responsibility. Everything in your life, trucking, being a parent, being a brother, being a child of somebody, being a coworker of somebody, just being an average citizen walking into Walmart doing your shopping, just going out for a walk around the park. Every single waking moment of your life, you have some kind of responsibility. First of all, to God, then yourself, then your family, your country, and everybody else. So when you have people saying, oh, they forced me to do this. Was anybody threatening to murder your family? Did they send you a video extorting you doing this so that you would drive tired? That you would drive in bad weather? That you would drive with a vehicle that is not legally safe to be on the road? You don't have your documentations, you don't have your brakes working correctly, your lights aren't working correctly, your steering isn't working right, all your fluids are wrong, you know, you're missing your windshield wipers, your horn doesn't work, you're missing the DOT tape on your trailer. I'm sorry, I find that hard to believe. That somebody is extorting, somebody is threatening your family or you. I find that hard to believe. Yes, there are companies out there. Yes, there are dispatchers out there. Yes, there are driver managers out there who will say those things, who will do those things. They are very few and far between as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, that guy at Run Hard, Get Paid, yes, he did record a guy saying that. And that guy was wrong. And if he did something that was wrong for him, that violated his safety and the safety of everybody else out on the road, he's wrong as well. If he told him to go to hell, I'm gonna go to sleep, then he did what was right. I'm taking a load right now today from Pueblo, Colorado to Irving, Texas and Laredo, Texas. I picked up the load 2 days ago on the 22nd. It was nighttime at 6 o'clock. I parked it. I had already done my day. Now, I had hours on my clock that I could have driven several hours down the road, but I do not like driving in the dark. I do not like driving at night. So whenever I can, I avoid it. I had plenty of time to meet my appointment times, to meet my delivery times, so I parked it. I got up the next morning. It's a bit snowy, it's a bit wintry. I made the judgment that it was safe for me to proceed down the road, so I went. I got to the Raton Pass on I-25. They closed the road for winter weather conditions. The pass was closed in Colorado and also in New Mexico. Everybody was diverted off in Colorado, heading south at exit 11. Either you turned around, you went back north, or you parked it at the Walmart or whatever place you can park it there. I stayed there all night. I did not get up until this morning. I was there about 8:30 in the morning when I parked that truck. This very vehicle I'm driving right now. I called my customers because I have crane appointments and hey, I might be delayed. They closed the roads. Giving you a heads up. I called my dispatch. Hey, the road is closed. I'm delayed making my load. Blah, blah, blah. Probably delayed making my load. Blah, blah, blah. I'm parking it here. Some of the other guys who were parked next to me left at some time. But 6 o'clock at night, I'm not going to start driving again because I'm not going to drive at night. The road may have been open, but I did not feel it was right for me to drive. Nobody is going to tell me to be unsafe, to risk my life. And that's the point I really want to convey with this. Do not do anything that harms you first. It's your license on the line. It's your CSA score on the line. It's your bank account on the line. It's your life on the line. Not the trucking company or anybody there. Not the owner of the company, not the managers, not the supervisors, not safety, not their driver manager, not dispatch. Nobody has the responsibility of this load. They can say whatever the hell they please. They can threaten your job all they want. But guess what? It always comes down to you, the driver of that vehicle. You're the one who put your signature on that bill of lading paper saying that you are personally responsible for the safe delivery of that cargo. Your license, and every day you fill out that pre-trip and post-trip and all the other things you do, your medical card, your CDL, every single day you get up, you are personally responsible. You don't have to be an owner-operator to be personally responsible. You're a company driver. You are still the #1 person they're going to look at for any kind of accident, any kind of violation, any kind of breaking of the law. You, the truck driver. So trying to say that you were pressured into it, I look at that as a downright, unmitigated, unmistakably, undeniable lie. You chose to do something wrong. If you knew it was wrong to begin with and you chose to do wrong, that's your fault. Not the driver manager, not the dispatcher, not anybody else. When I was a pesticide applicator in Maryland, I had a license from the state of Maryland, Department of Agriculture. Every single time I left that branch of the company I was working at, I went out there with that license in my wallet. I was the one personally responsible for anything that happened out there. If I had a spill, I was responsible. If I applied it to the wrong property, I was responsible. If something that I applied did harm to their property, their plants, their pets, themselves, the people, the neighbors, an adjacent property, anything, I was the one personally responsible. I'm the one who would have faced fines and possible jail time. And the same thing applies with my professional license as a CDL holding commercial driver. I am personally responsible for my cargo and the safe and legal operation of this vehicle. Everywhere I drive, every single solitary second, I'm responsible. Even when I'm sleeping in my bunk, I am still responsible for this vehicle. Even when I am unconscious, asleep, if somebody hits me, I'm responsible. If the engine decides, the engine decides to start and blow up and start a fire and catch other trucks next to me at the truck stop on fire and all this stuff, they're going to look at me, first of all. What did you do or not do to make sure that vehicle was operating properly? Even when it's shut down, I'm going to be looked at. So this mentality that somebody else is forcing me to do something that is against the law or makes me unsafe or blah, 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 blah. Like I said, this is my opinion and my personal judgment of the situation. I see that as a downright lie. If you choose to break the law because you're being quote-unquote pressured or threatened by your dispatch or threatened by a customer or whatever, you need to pack your bags and leave that company. And you report that company. You document everything that was said, the time, the date, the place, where the phone numbers, who you were speaking to if possible, every little scrap of information. You write all that stuff down and you report that company and those individuals. Because we do not need them in the industry. We don't need them in any industry. Would you want that going on in a nuclear power plant? How about a foundry where they're making steel? Metric, tons and tons of steel every moment, every minute. Would you want your linemen on the power lines being pressured like that? How about the water treatment plant? I mean, look what's going on in Flint, Michigan with the bad water up there. That's the mentality that causes situations like that. People doing something wrong. They chose to do something wrong, whether or not they were pressured from above. If you're being threatened like that, report them. You are not there to be abused, to be threatened, to be coerced. There are more than enough trucking companies out here. If you are being threatened, If you are doing things correctly and they are telling you to violate the law, you pack your bags, you leave that company, and you go elsewhere. Yes, it'll be a financial hardship on you sometimes. What's more important? Your honor, your soul, your sense of self-worth, or a little bit of money? I would rather go hungry. I would rather go hungry. I'd rather be cold. I'd rather have to sell every single one of my possessions just to survive. I like the company I'm at. I think Melton does a great job. I've not had a problem with missing an appointment or anything like that. Because if I am running late, they understand why. It's a privately owned company, and there's a philosophy of doing things correctly. I'm not saying that it's perfect. It's run by human beings. There is nothing that's perfect. And I will go try to get my customers taken care of, because that's how I look at it. It's my customer first. I will do what I have to get it there, but I'm going to do it safely, and I'm going to do it legally. And I will not be coerced or bullied, extorted, or threatened by anybody who's up on the food chain above me. No dispatcher, no driver manager, no company supervisor, office manager, safety, vice president, CEO, company owner. Nobody's going to threaten me to do something that's going to injure me or threaten my livelihood as a truck driver. Nobody. Take care of yourself first. Do the right and moral thing first. The money is a minor part of what we do.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
It's nothing but a tool. You exchange your time, your energy, your mental, physical, emotional strength, your time away from your family if you have one. Dealing with the weather, dealing with the traffic, dealing with the bad food, the inconveniences we deal with. It's not worth it. To exchange who you are for money, it's a job. It's not your life. You are not a priest, you are not a nun. You can't tell me that you are obligated by society, by your family, by a calling of God to be a truck driver. I don't buy that. It's a job. Yes, it is a lifestyle as well, because we spend so much time away, on the road, in the truck, around the truck, near the trucks, dealing with trucks. I spend 95% of my time is spent in this truck. But guess what? I don't owe any trucking company that I work at, whether it was Watkins Shepherd, whether it's Melton, I don't owe them anything other than doing my job correctly.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
My sense of loyalty to this company does not exceed in any way my loyalty to myself, to God, my country, my family.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
And I will not violate anything else to try to give this trucking company anything that would violate those other things. And anybody anybody who posts a video on YouTube says that they were pressured into that. I'll speak as a supervisor, as a manager, as I have been in my past, at other types of jobs, at other companies. I will not accept that as a legitimate excuse for violating the law, violating your sense of personal safety and responsibility. I mean, anybody who claims that they couldn't, that they had to, they would have what, lost a job? That's pretty sad. If you're that weak-willed a person, you should not be driving a truck. You need to probably get yourself some therapy. Go see a psychiatrist, go see a counselor or therapist or something to find out what is wrong with you that you can't take care of yourself. I know, a little bit rambling, I know, but I just kind of felt I needed to speak about this. But the long and short of it is, number one, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, your honor, your soul, your spirit, your sense of personal responsibility and duty and loyalty, not to the trucking company. Like this knucklehead here, being unsafe. Way to go, dum-dum. Alvarez Trucking, pithead. See, in too much of a hurry. That's the thing right there. In too much of a hurry. No turn signal on. Nothing. Dalhart, Texas. Almost had an accident this morning because somebody's trying to go too fast. Ugh. Like I said, don't put yourself at risk for $1. It's money. There's plenty of jobs, quote unquote, in trucking. If you're a decent, safe driver, you can have a job inside of 7 days. And if you know you're leaving this company, you'll have a job the very next day. You finish your delivery, you drop your truck off, you get on a bus or into a rental car, you take all your stuff, you put it in there, you take it to the next company, you put it in the hotel room that they put you up in, you put all your stuff in the new truck after you do your orientation, away you go. Your paycheck really hasn't been impacted all that much. But don't sit there and say that somebody forced you into it. The only person forcing you is yourself. Look to yourself for anything that happens in your life. That's the first person to look at. Yourself. Alrighty. Got our 30-minute break done. We still have 6 hours and 48 minutes to drive for the day. We got 8 hours and 37 minutes on our 14-hour clock. Our 70-hour clock has 25 hours and 26 minutes. We're going to do basically another 302 miles today. We're leaving Amarillo, Texas, the Flying J. So as traffic lets us go. And we are going to be heading down the 287, US 287. Which is going to take us past Wichita Falls. Been to several times before. That'll take us down to Rome, R-H-O-M-E, Texas. Where we were going to stop at the Pilot there for the night.
300 feet, turn left onto I-40 access road.
And that's pretty much a very easy striking distance to our delivery first thing in the morning, so we will have plenty of time to do our 10-hour break and then get up in the morning,
Turn left onto I-40 access
do a little
road.
driving, get where we need to go, make our delivery in Irving.
In a quarter mile, take the I-40 east, US 287 south ramp on the left.
We'll have more than enough time to get down to Laredo and during the rest of the day and make our delivery, our final delivery there in Laredo on the 26th, Tuesday.
Take the I-40 east ramp on the left, then merge onto I-40 east. Continue on I-40 east for 1 mile.
Going to get off here, heading towards Fort Worth. Get the signs we're going to follow. Just have a good old time.